So today's video is going to be a little different because you're not actually going to write anything in your math notebook. We're going to work through this, but at the end, I'm going to tell you what to write as kind of your proof that you made it all the way through the video and watched. So we're going to spend all our time today on this multiplication table. This can be an absolutely vital, huge help to you, but you have to know how to use it. And I find that a lot of kids don't know how to use it or don't know when to use it effectively. So the first use of a multiplication table that most people are familiar with is when you want to know like 7 times 6. So if I was doing, say, a multi-digit multiplication problem and I need to know 8 times 9 and I can't remember what it is, I take my two factors, so 8 and 9, the numbers I multiply together are called factors. 8 and 9, 8 times 9, and I drag my finger straight down until I get to where they both meet, and I see 72. So now I know that problem. Okay, I write 2 and I carry the 7 or whatever that might be. Okay, that's the way most people are familiar with using a multiplication table. However, there's another way. So let's say I'm doing 312 divided by 95. I'm going to write this out. You don't have to write this out, but just so you can see. And I changed my mind. I'm going to do 312 divided by 9. So first I know that 9 can't fit into 3, so I've got to go to 31. How many times can I get 9 into 31? Well, this, I can go down my 9s until I get as close as I can to 31 without going over. So 36 is too big. So 9 can't go into 31 4 times, but it can go in 3 times because that's the closest I can get to 31 without going over. So now I say it can go in 3 times. 3 times 9 is 27. And I bring down my 2. So now I want to know how many times can 9 go into 42. So I do the same thing. I go down until it's too big. 36. So it can go in 4 times. 4 times 9 is 36. I have 6 left over. And I can keep going. So that's the second way to use a multiplication table, is when we're doing division, we can see how many times something goes in. The other thing to know is that as we go down a number, like as we go down the 4s, these are all multiples of 4s. So if I were to skip count by 4s, I would count 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. So another way to use a multiplication table is when I'm looking for multiples of a number, and maybe I want to see at what point does it have a multiple that's the same as a multiple of 5 or a multiple of 2. And I could look down and see where are some numbers that show up in both paths. Another way to use a multiplication table, I know there's a lot, is to look at kind of doing a round estimate. So if I need to know what 412 times 30 is, and I am going to round to 400 times 30, I could say, well, 4 times 3 is 12. Add 3 zeros, 400 times 30 should be somewhere around 12,000. The last way to use a multiplication table that I'm going to talk about in this video, there are more ways, is when I want to know the factors of a number. So if I'm looking for, sorry, I got out of the camera. If I'm looking for, say, factors of 75, I can look through the multiplication table and look for times when I see 75. So boom, 75 factors are 25 and 3. And then I could keep going and I see it again here. So 15 and 5. Now the thing you have to be careful with is this will only tell you the factors up to 30. So for example, the number 75, and we'll talk more about factors, but it has other factors that won't fit in here. So if it's a really big number, you have to be careful that you might not get all the factors, but you'll at least get some of them. So if you wanted to check, say, can 25 be divided by 6? I could go down the 6s and see if 25 has 6 as a factor. So if I'm doing, well, can 96 be divided by 8? I can go down the 8s and see if I get 96, and hey, look, it can. it can go in 12 times. So now to prove that you watched this video, I want you to draw a star in the top right-hand corner when your paper is lying like this. And I want you to draw a smiley face over here. And if you have those two symbols, I will know that you have made it through this video. Okay, good work. Got to figure out how to stop this now.